There's an opportunity that's being presented to each one of us. The global coronavirus pandemic has hit us all hard. We've all had to suffer. We've all had to change. We've all found a vast number of restrictions being placed on us. But at the same time, it has opened up avenues for doing things that we didn't have before. It has changed the way we talk with one another in business and in organizations and in communities. We're now talking through the vehicle of Zoom, for example, like this. And we're talking by phone and we're talking by text message. And it wasn't that we weren't doing that before, but it's become much more intentional. It's become much more vital. It's essential now because we have to be in communication with one another. So the problem, though, is that a lot of this seems very random and kind of scattered and chaotic. And we're doing it out of kind of a need to just get things done. And what I'm suggesting is that there is the opportunity to change that sort of chaos into some kind of order, which enables us to be able to make a difference that matters in the communities and in the organizations where we live and work. And so this is where the idea of developing networks of relationships happen. A network is simply an intentional coming together of two or more people because they want to talk about something specific and they want to focus on some topic, some issue, some problem, some opportunity that is specific to them that they share. And so they create the network and they create a form of a way of talking with each other. I almost said formula. I don't mean a formula. I mean a form of a way of talking to each other. And when they begin to talk with each other about how they can make a difference that matters together, then all of a sudden the idea of creating impact grows as not just a little thing, but something much larger, because you have more people involved. And you have people that you can bring in from outside who have knowledge, and you can bring people from within your community. And together, all of a sudden, you have this brain power, but you also have arms and legs and feet and voices to do all kinds of things that can change things. And that's what I see happening. Let me give you an example. In July, I started the Global Impact Network, and I did so with two guys from Uganda, one pastor and one a guy who runs an orphanage. And they were both talking to each other, sort of. I mean, they knew each other, and they were talking to me about what to do about feeding their people. They didn't have enough food. People were starving. They had people who were actually dying from starvation under their care. So what are we going to do? Well, we have to figure that out. So we created a network where they can talk to each other. And with one of them, we had already been doing that kind of work. And so it expanded the relationship between me and one of them and with the third. And now they have the possibility of another guy joining them. I hope that will happen. Then this fall, I helped create a network of young professionals in East and Central Africa who are to talk about leadership and leadership that they're part of, leadership that they're doing for their communities, for their cities, for their businesses in Africa. And the future of Africa is really bright because these young professionals are really, really sharp. And I really like the way they think. And they're going to be networked together. And we're going to see other networks of relationships form because of them. And these networks of relationships are going to be centers of energy, and there'll be catalysts for change. And there'll be things where people will look at them and say, oh, they're people I can go trust. I can go depend on them because I see what they're doing. It's very exciting to me to see this. So I am taking on the role of the facilitator of the creation of networks of relationships. These are not my networks of relationships. These are the people who come to me saying they want this. I'm simply facilitating the establishment of them and will be a part of that just to help them on, just to nurture them, to nourish them with belief and with support and with ideas so that they can do greater things because they are working together to be persons of impact. So the next stage of this will begin next year. I've decided I'm going to start a podcast called the Global Impact Network Podcast. And basically, I'm just going to bring people on and I'm going to interview them about the impact that they're having in their local communities. My hope is that I can find someone from every continent who will talk to me, who is doing impact stuff, and we can talk about that. And we can talk about the effect that they're having on their local community. And then people all over the world, we're sharing this globally so that people all over the world can say, hey, they're doing that there. We can do that there too. We can do that here. That's the idea of sharing our stories, is to give people the inspiration and the idea and the clarity of purpose that they can go do the same thing. This is why the Global Impact Network will have a tremendous impact upon the world over the next 10 years, because we're going to be telling the stories of people who are already doing things that other people will find out and they say, oh, I can go do that too. It's to me, it's the next dimension of the circle of impact, having the fulfilling the potential that I saw in it 20 years ago. So I'm very pleased with that. So I'm excited. So you will see in the show notes, there is a SurveyMonkey survey. Fill that out so that I can see how you see you're being a person of impact. And if I see that is being clear enough for us to talk about on the podcast, then we'll do that. If not, then I'm going to talk to you about how you over, say, the next year can develop what you're doing as a thing of impact in your community. So in 2 years, maybe we'll be talking to you. So that's what I'm hoping you will take part in. And you will, if you sign up for my newsletter, which is supposed to be monthly, but seems like it's going to be quarterly, but sign up for my newsletter, go to edbrendiger.com, click on one of those links there, and you will find your name being added to my newsletter address list, and you'll be receiving this. There'll be something coming out about this in the next week, because I want other people to know that who may not get this video. And we're going to have a bang up, really fantastic 2022, because we're going to translate all of this confusion and all this disruptive energy into focus energy for order to create good things for our communities worldwide. And I want you to be a part of that. And I want to be a part of it with you in your own community. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your gratitude. Thank you for reaching out to me. Thank you for your expressions of concern and well-being for my family. And I wish I could respond to all of you, but that's not possible. I just want you to know I do appreciate it. I do look at all of that. And I welcome you to be a part of my network when it makes sense for you and for me to achieve some impact that we both share a commitment to. So may the best of holidays be there for you and your family. May you find peace and joy and harmony, and see you in 2022. Bye-bye.